upon us, it's that time of year. Brandy and eggnog, there's plenty of cheer. There's lights on the trees and there's wreaths to be hung. There's mischief and mayhem and songs to be sung. There's bells and there's holly, the kids are gung-ho. True love finds a kiss beneath fresh mistletoe. Some families are messed up while others are fine. If you think yours is crazy, well, you should see mine. My sisters are whack jobs, I wish I had none. Their husbands are losers and so are their sons. My nephew's a horrible, wise little twit. He once gave me a nice gift wrap box full of shit. He likes to pelt carolers with icy snowballs. I'd like to take him out back and deck more than the halls. With family like this, I would have to confess I'd be better off lonely, distraught and depressed. The season's upon us, it's that time of year. Brandy and eggnog, there's plenty of cheer. There's lights on the trees and there's wreaths to be hung. There's mischief and mayhem and songs to be sung. They call this Christmas where I'm from.
We're on, bowling fans. Week number 12 from the house that Rab built here on Staten Island, Highland Boulevard. Some say it's the Forgotten Borough, but I don't. It's been 7 long days since the greatest athletes have been in my presence, and now we are back. Behind me, as we do every week, you will see some of today's greatest athletes walk by. They may seem a little sluggish today, coming off Thanksgiving, because this was their cheat weekend. In order to compete at the highest level of bowling, which we do, we are all on strict, and here's one of them right now. And here is one of them right now, ladies and gentlemen. In order to compete at the highest level, you need a high protein, low carb, low fat diet, which all of us follow very strictly to compete over a 36-week season. And guess what? Thanksgiving does not help our bowling schedule. Now, the turkey breast itself might be high in protein, but everything else on that table is not. So the cheat weekend is over. We are all cleansing, and there goes another one. Another great athlete. Tonight we have 2 fabulous guests. But before that, I have to give a shout out to the grinders, those getting up before 5:30 a.m. The grinders, you know who you are. You're putting the time in. You're getting up to give us tales from the hard side. The hard side, other side of 5:30 a.m. Week number 12, the last week in the first trimester. And speaking of the first trimester, very nice, Anthony. Speaking of the first trimester, I'm going to turn to the side right now. The first trimester. Zoom in, first trimester right here. And speaking of the second trimester, I have a couple of cameramen I want to introduce you to. The first one is the king of the blue lights. Did you decorate yet? Blue light man, Matt Kaplowitz. It's that time of the season. Second up, you're never going to believe this. I'm getting a ton of fan mail. And guess the fan mail is about the most. Guess who? None other than the guy on camera number 2. He's a heartthrob. This guy, the girls love this man. He should have been on the cover of Teen Bop. Sex symbol. The king of the Cougars right here. The Cougars love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Ken Soto. Look at this man. Mr. Gorgeous. Third up, the man to my left. He is my idol. I look up to him in many ways. Brooklyn's own, Staten Island's own, Joe Calandrillo, also known as Joe Cal. Joe, come on in. I'm ending my first trimester.
Listen, you did a great job. Congratulations on the pregnancy. It's okay. This was Thanksgiving. Not yet. You don't have to glow yet. I have to tell you something, though, folks. I shouldn't be talking because I'm not as svelte as I used to be, going on that damn Disney cruise with all the food thrown at us, then Thanksgiving around the corner. You know what I had for breakfast and lunch today? Cottage cheese. So, exactly, high in protein. But just what Joe said, got to shed the weight. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, when you get older, you get the love handles. I got to shake them. But anyway, enough about us. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to bring in our two guests, my friends Matt Peduto and Rolando Graham. Come on in, fellas. Here they are. Folks, two of the nicer guys in the league. This is our very own Morgan Freeman of Rabs Country Lanes. Rolando, my friend Andy Dufresne. Old Andy did it in 20. That's where he is. And Matthew Peduto, one of the nicer guys around. Had the pleasure of bowling with Matt last year. Me, him, and Jeff. Great team. A lot of fun. The only time Jeff didn't win a third, when he bowled with me and Matt. But that aside, and Joe B, that aside, I'm going to start off with the bowling questions, guys. So we're going to do some rapid fire because we got two special guests tonight. So I'm going to ask you guys the same question. Let's get going with the bowling questions for you, Ro. When did you first start bowling? And who was the person that got you into it?
I started out, where I grew up when I was younger, they didn't have bowling alleys. Okay. So I came here at the age of 15.
And that was from?
From Panama.
Panama, right?
Yeah.
The home of Mariano Rivera.
Absolutely. Hector Lopez and a few others. Yeah, so I came here, and in those days there was a lot of bowling alleys, almost like in every block in Brooklyn they had bowling alleys.
Right, that's right.
So
Brooklyn was loaded.
yeah, it was loaded. So you know, it was something to do at night. You know, so I started, but I never bowled leagues. I kind of was always a recreational drinker.
He's a drinker too.
Like Matt likes to point out, you know, and bowling was a byproduct of that.
Yes,
you know?
of course. Drinking and bowling go together, and you know what? Listen. But you know what? When you see Rolando, you see him with a beer in hand, beer in one hand, bowling ball in the other. That's why we love him. That's what makes him him. Now, Matt, same question for you. When did you start bowling, and who got you into it?
My parents actually got me into it. My grandparents all bowled. My parents bowled. I actually used to live right down on Burger Avenue, which is a couple of blocks from here. So quick walk over. And I just kept going through that and stayed bowling with my family. Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, Matt was a former Penrose Junior League bowler. I had the pleasure of knowing him when he was a younger man. He's still a young man. But I knew him back when he first started, cutting his teeth in this game. So now, Ro, what was the first bowling ball that you owned? Like when you started bowling competitively in league, do you remember what ball you had?
Well, my first competitive bowling league was actually here on bowling on the green. Yeah,
Remember the ball you threw?
I think it was a Rhino.
The Rhino, folks, very popular back in the 80s.
Yeah,
No, it was. I'm serious. Right?
Yes, I wanted to throw a big hook, and so I figured I'd buy a ball that hooks. Right. I'm still searching for that ball, 30 years later, but my quest continues. I haven't found it yet.
Ro has been lost for a while. We've been lost together at times, but we're hoping to be found together real soon. They said it would take a man 100 years to break out of Shawshank, but old Andy did it in 20. Anyway, now Matt, so what was your first ball?
I believe it was a red Rhino. Did they make red Rhinos?
The Rhinos were very popular back then.
But I remember it was red. I don't remember the exact brand though.
Okay, all right. So now the Burgundy Hammer. How about the Purple Hammer? Back in the day, it's back again. Only new, not the same old cover stock. Not as purple. A little purplish. Okay, so Ro, give me your three favorite teammates of all time.
Well, I have to. One of the good things about bowling in this league for me is I really get to bowl with elite bowlers. And I like to point out that, during the draft league, when my name is called, that means the draft is over. So I'm like the last guy.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
No, I like it because generally speaking, I bowl like with Jeff Charest, Sean McCauley, Dan Dunleavy. So I do bowl with some of the best bowlers around. Now I was hoping this osmosis thing worked. It's kind of delayed a little bit, maybe age thing. It hasn't kind of rubbed off on me yet. But I'm working on it.
Listen, you're always in good hands here, and you're well loved. Everybody enjoys bowling with you, and you know what? The main thing is we're all friends here, all right?
Yes, they are.
And
Great guys.
we all have a good time. It doesn't matter A, B, or C. We all bowl together. We all have a couple of yucks. It's all good.
That's absolutely true.
Matt, give me your 3 favorite teammates. And again, no offense to anybody who's ever bowled with these guys. Just right off the top, give me 3 of your favorite teammates.
Well, 3 of them are in this room. Joe Kyle, Joe Bruno, and Tony. They were.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Nah, look at this kid. Hey, what a nice young man. His parents did a fabulous job raising him.
But always a fun time bowling the third, having a good time, drinking, and shout out also to Jeff Charest because you're always competitive when you have Jeff Charest in your third.
Definitely. I told a story at the Hall of Fame dinner about how when we got the front 15 thrown at us and Jeff willed us to that victory, he said, guys, we're not losing, right? We came back, and by the grace of God, by some miracle, and Jeff's 300, we won the game. All right, Joe B., come on in, bud. Finish up the Q&A here. I'll be happy to turn the mic over to my buddy with the Dynasty shirt, Joey Bruno.
Yes, Dynasty shirt. Wow, good stuff. Matt, Rolando, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? I had a couple of questions that the bowling community really needs to know from my 2 friends right here. By the way, we've been bowling, me and Rolando have been bowling together a long time, right, Ro? See the gray? See? Matt is younger than us, but Matt is a great teammate, and we had great times together, even though we just fell short that 1/3, but it was still a great team. But the bowling community, yeah, we were pretty good. But even though Joe just said that, but from the grace of God, but I'm glad you threw in there Jeff's 300 because, God. Which God? There's so many gods. Which one? We don't even know. But the bowling community wants to know what kind of Thanksgiving food that you like the best from the other day, Ro. Besides the turkey.
Generally speaking, I come from a Latin background, so we have this thing we call la pernil, which is like, how would you describe pulled pork? Would be the closest thing, and then we have some pasteles, which is a food that's made with plantains and chicken and cooked in a banana leaf.
All right, Ro. Ro's going back to his roots tonight. I like it. Never knew that. Matthew, besides the turkey.
I'm a big. I like mashed potatoes. Homemade mashed potatoes.
Me too.
But besides turkey, I'm actually more of a ham person. So Thanksgiving at our house usually involves ham instead of turkey, since we don't know.
I got you. Are you also, you guys cleansing, getting back into bowling shape? Because I have noticed that you are. All right, you just the juice cleansed, all right, because,
I do it. I have a bottle of wine every day. It really works fine. Yeah.
Some people say that, How about your worst subject and your best subject in school? Let's go high school. Matt, best subject.
English.
Worst?
Math, probably.
Okay. Ro?
I had the reverse. I actually failed English. Where I went to school was in Spanish. English was your second language. So I failed that. And what I liked the most, I guess, was a little bit of math algebra. I became a computer programmer.
Yeah, because Ro can tell you how many pins we're down on a dime. A lot of people have to wait for the frame to be over. He can do it in between. I like that. How about you? How about your first car, Matt?
Pontiac Grand Prix. I think it was 2005.
He's young. How about you?
A 58 Chevy.
All right, Ro. What color?
Blue.
Very nice, very nice. Oh, man. Let's go with, I just saw Creed the other day, by the way. Whatever it is. Creed 2. Whatever it's called. Did you go? All right, well, make sure you see Creed 1. I'm a Rocky fan. I'm a Rocky fan, and I'm going to say that it was 2 to 2.5 stars. I wanted it to be better, but did you see it? I know. I saw that your wife said that she liked Green Book. All right, Green Book is fantastic. Yeah, Viggo Mortensen. That's right. Let's go with the best Rocky and the worst Rocky.
Rocky 5 is definitely the worst Rocky.
All right, how about this? We can't say that Rocky 5 is the weakest one. Let's start there. Because that's unanimous.
Yeah. That is unanimous.
Tommy Gunn. George Washington Duke.
That's right.
Rocky Balboa, then, I guess. The newer one that they
Is the weakest one?
the weakest.
How about the best?
Probably Rocky 2.
All right, I like that. Ro?
Rocky 1. The first time it came out, that was amazing.
Rocky 1's the best.
Absolutely. No.
Which one's the weakest?
I haven't seen all of them, believe it or not, but I saw, I think, was 5 recently, and it was like you were saying, so. But I saw some of the trailers for Creed. That looked pretty good. Looks,
It's worth it. It's worth it. Give me the last show you watched from beginning to end.
Well, since I have a lot of time at home, I watch a lot of, how would you say?
Lifetime movies about like women and
No.
they're all the same.
We'll talk about that offline. But the last one I saw was, I think, Abba. It was about the Jewish Mossad and the.
Ro's very smart.
Yeah, and it was really
Was Matt in it?
No, he had a guest appearance. I think.
He had a guest appearance. Okay. The last show you watched from beginning to end.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Are you getting caught up, or are you all caught up? All right. That's very, very good. That's very good. Matt always gets a kick out of me because he knows that I say a lot of things on social media about whatever. There's a new one out there today. I don't know if you saw it. That Aaron Rodgers is now not clutch. 2 weeks ago he was. Now we found out he's 0-37 against teams with the winning record at the start of the fourth quarter if they're down. Now that doesn't mean if they finish the year over 500. At the time. So at the beginning of the fourth quarter, he must go over to the coach and say, what's their record? And then if they're under 500, he lights it up. If they're over 500, he can't find a receiver.
Is the temperature taken into account?
That's another thing. Because I found out that the Packers are 1-7 against the spread, 1:00 games in a dome. Did you know this, Ed?
What's that?
That
Tony, we're on 29 and 30.
So Matt gets a kick out of that because you know what? Matt, I think, agrees with me. So I've also found out that LeBron is like 4 of 10 free throws under 10 seconds to go. They don't take into account the 20 he scored to get the team in the lead. They don't count that. It's just that free throw. What do you think about that?
Just to one point. I think if you can adjust statistics to say whatever you want to say. No matter
I totally agree. Do you believe that you could adjust your point of view in politics or sports? You could give me anything and we could adjust it like lawyers do. Do you agree it can be done?
Absolutely. They do it every day.
They do it every day. Absolutely right. I'm glad Matt laughed at me because I just cannot do it another second. And you know what, Joe? We don't have a Lowe's Bowler of the Week this week. No, because Lowe's went on strike. They have a little bit of a union issue. Lowe's went on strike. They have a union. Who knows what they're talking about now? More annuity pay by hour. They want 50 cents more. So I don't get involved in that because you know what happens. Like Fist and Stallone, sometimes, there's violence. So there's going to be no Lowe's Bowler of the Week this week. That doesn't mean that someone didn't go real low. I will find out. There'll be 2 winners next week.
Someone went limbo low.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. First trimester is over. And next week is the draft. We're all going to be on new teams next year. And Joe's going to come in right now and send us off.
We may, folks, thank you, Giuseppe. We may do a quick cut-in live in the draft room or the war room, as some like to say, next week as the B-Bowlers draft. But, folks, Week 12 tonight, the end of a first third that for some, we couldn't wait for the third to end. No knock against our teammates, but when you're buried, like my team, if we were any deeper, we'd be hitting China pretty soon. Anyway, we bowled the blind 4 weeks in a row. Thanks for reminding me, Kenny. And tonight we're bowling a real live team. We're bowling Tony's team tonight. Anyway, folks, it's been a great first third. Better for some than for some others. But as far as the show, we've had a great time, a lot of fun. Great guests like Rolando and Matt and all of our other guests that have appeared for the last 12 weeks. We'll see you for a quick hit next week and be back in 2 weeks. Good night.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.